Thank you for having me here this afternoon to share with you. Imagine being on the brink of your career, an aspiring obstetrician and gynecologist, and suddenly you start having vision problems. Blurred vision, double vision, areas of your visual field blocked out, and loss of depth perception due to optic neuritis secondary to multiple sclerosis. That is what happened to me, and my world was turned upside down. I had to make the difficult decision to stop practicing medicine for the safety of my patients. I had to walk away from a career of delivering babies and performing surgeries. I had hands that were meant to operate. I went from working 100 hours a week to 0. I had lost my identity, my self-worth. I no longer knew who I was as a person. As time went on, my vision continued to worsen. And 2 years later, on March 4th, 2004, I woke up in complete darkness. I remember that morning clearly. I woke up and thought my eyelids hadn't opened. I tried to open them over and over again, only to realize they were open, and I was no longer seeing. I instantly froze and felt paralyzed, as I didn't know what to do. In that moment, I couldn't remember the layout of my house, or where the numbers were on the telephone. How was I to get help? How was I to function on a day-to-day basis if I couldn't even get out of bed? As I was sitting there in bed, I realized that I was no longer going to be able to read printed material, that I was no longer going to be able to see the sunrise or the sunset, and I was no longer going to be able to see the images of my loved ones. I thought my world had ended. But from within, I found the strength and courage to face the darkness and bring in the light. I took those steps off the bed and sought help from family and friends and from resources within the community. I went to the Adult Rehab Center for the Blind in Raleigh, learning Braille, computer-assisted technology, and better ways of doing activities of daily living. I reached greater levels of independence when I obtained my first guide dog, Wrangler, who was with me for 4 years until he passed away from cancer. At that time, I obtained Lucy, my current guide dog, who's been with me for 4.5 years. In addition, I started doing motivational speaking all across the country. With my guide dog by my side, I ventured to the airports, traveling all across the United States, granting me a freedom I never thought I would have achieved. As Helen Keller said, when one door closes, another door opens. My life changed drastically, and I have adapted in many ways, and have come to view the world in a whole new light. I've come to see myself as a whole new person, and I've gained a greater sense of my purpose in life. But we are here today for the Senior Community Center for the Deaf and Blind. I am more than a decade away from being a potential resident of this facility, but I see its purpose and its need. This project is the first of its kind in the nation and will provide the opportunity of interaction between the deaf and the blind in a common living space. I would want to live in a facility like this because I see its need. This facility will enable the residents to continue to be productive members of society. I would want to live in a center like this one because I need a community that is safe and secure. I would need to depend on other people to maintain things and fix things like the plumbing. It would also have a pet area and a nature trail for me to walk my guide dog, which would be an essential feature for me. The environment of like people will serve as a confidence builder to feel more secure to go out into the environment and interact. It would also enable more opportunities to explore activities in the environment due to its location on the bus lines and closeness to the malls and theaters. This is a unique opportunity for the deaf and blind to interact with each other. On behalf of myself and the deaf-blind community, we appreciate you being here today and your willingness to consider this facility becoming part of your community and the amazing possibilities it would bring. So we ask that you open your hearts and your souls to donate to this wonderful project. Thank you.